I'd like you to picture this. You're in a forest full of lush trees and bushes. The air is brisk, the road is rough, and you're desperately running from a figure behind you. You're moving one foot in front of the other as fast as you can humanly muster, and yet you can't seem to get further than a jog. Then you finally get the courage to look behind you, and it's your 8th grade math teacher. Not the most realistic thing, right? Well, that's because it's not. It's a description of a dream. Dreams can feel random, confusing, and borderline ridiculous at times, but for thousands of years, people have believed that dreams actually mean something, and that they're messages from our minds. But is that true? And if so, which dreams mean what? Hi, my name is Aina Manchanda-Izquierdo. I'm a sophomore here at River Hill High School, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the psychology behind dreams and how they connect to real-life mental health. Sleep is one of, if not the most important processes for your brain to complete its regular function. It's where you form your memories and you give your body time to rest and heal. The Sleep Foundation is a foundation of readers, writers, scientists, and researchers who provide science-based input onto dreams and sleep, and they explain how there are 4 stages of sleep. Your first 3 stages are your non-rapid eye movement, or NREM, or simply N1, N2, and N3. And then your 4th stage is your rapid eye movement, or REM sleep. NREM1 is the first and lightest stage of sleep when you're first falling asleep. Then you go to NREM2, where your body relaxes, your body temperature drops, and your heat and breathing rate slow. Then deep sleep, or NREM3. This is the most restorative stage of your sleep, where your body is given time to rest and heal. Then comes your REM sleep. And this is where your body becomes paralyzed, your brain activity picks up, and this is where you form memories, form connections, and sort through your emotions. It's also, notably, where a lot of your dreaming takes place. This is part of why sleeping is so important. You need a nice balance of light sleep and deep sleep. During your REM sleep, a portion of your brain called the amygdala is activated, and it's responsible for a lot of your emotional processing. This is why everyone's dreams are unique. If you were to turn to your neighbor and tell them about a dream you had recently, what are the chances that they would have had the exact same dream? Close to 0, right? That's because everyone's experiences are unique, and the way that your body processes them is going to also end up being unique. It's also different in the ways in which you sense them. Eric Sooney explains how some people dream in black and white, some dream in color, and some blind people have even described having more components which relate more to sound, taste, and smell. But what is a dream in the first place? That's a large and rather complicated question, but it's generally agreed that dreams are our body's way of dealing with all of the things that you've experienced throughout the day. This is why you're often met with familiar people, places, and things in your dreams. However, it's not a one-to-one translation. If you were avoiding something in real life because you're anxious, you may not necessarily have a dream confronting that fear. Sigmund Freud explains that this is because a dream is a disguised fulfillment of a repressed wish. The dream thoughts and the dream content present themselves to us in a distorted form because the dream work transforms the latent thoughts into the manifest dream. So, if you're avoiding something, you may not necessarily confront that thing in your dream. Instead, you could have a dream of being chased. Your brain turns that feeling of avoidance into a literal chase scene. The chasing dream is just one example of a dream that many people describe experiencing. How many of you here have had a dream of falling before? How many of you have had a dream of sleeping in late or failing a test? The falling dream is one example of a dream that many people have described experiencing. Aina Manchanda-Izquierdo explains how a falling dream can be connected to feelings of insecurity and major life changes. When your life is changing, you can feel unbalanced and insecure in your life. And when your body is processing that, it can result in a dream of you losing your footing, quite literally, and falling. Or the example of failing a test. Well, While this could quite literally be you worrying about a test you have the next day, it can also be connected to feelings of social anxiety and needing to live up to expectations. Judy Willis explains how a lot of people who have described having dreams of failing a test have already graduated high school and even college. Dreams often go past the literal and into the realm of the metaphorical, and it's often how you uncover insecurities within yourself. Another example is the example of the recurring dream. That pit in your stomach feeling where you just keep having the same horrible dream over and over and over again, and you're not quite sure why. Recurring dreams are often connected to unmet psychological needs. For example, when I was in 6th grade, I was so excited to check out my first book from the amazing middle school library. I put it in my backpack, I brought it home, and I opened my bag, and it's covered in lunch food. I was so terrified to tell my librarian, and I thought, hey, the best way to deal with the situation is surely to avoid my librarian for 4 months straight. So, I avoided it, and I kept having this recurring dream of being chased by my librarian down the school hallway. Then, eventually, I couldn't hide forever, and my dad got an email about it. So, I had no choice. I had to confront it. But the moment I did, I never had that dream again. As long as you have that unmet psychological need, your body has to keep processing it. And if your body has to keep processing it, then you're more likely to have that same recurring dream over and over again until that need is met. It's important to note that these aren't the only dreams that have meaning. Even the most ridiculous dreams can be connected to a deeper insecurity within yourself. The Dream Dictionary explains how understanding your insecurities can help get you off the ledge and onto solid ground. Think about what was there. I find that the best way to discover the true meaning of your dreams is to solve it like a puzzle. Who was there? What was there? Why were they there? Why were you there? And most importantly, what were you feeling in that moment? So, next time you wake up from a dream and you remember what happened, I implore you not to just brush it off. Pick up a pen and a piece of paper, even your phone, and write down everything that you can remember from the dream. Consider the context of the dream and consider how it can connect to major developments that you've recently had in your life. Put your dreams in motion. Your brain might just be trying to tell you something about yourself that you never would have known otherwise. Thank you.